Allow me to read the citation. This certificate of recognition is awarded to Sir Bert Kian Pograd for sharing his expertise and valuable time as a resource speaker during the Capability Building Seminar and Workshop for faculty and student extensionists held on January 28, 2022 via Google Meet video conferencing platform. Given this 28th day of January 2022 at the Ilocos Community College, Quirino Stadium, Zone 5 of Bantay, Ilocos, signed by Dr. Arnold Castro, Dr. Lero, our college administrator. Thank you so much, sir. And to wrap up the session for today's webinar, may I give the virtual floor to Mr. Gurley Mark Redoble, the Health Science Department Extension Focal Person. Sir?
Okay, sir. Hello. Okay na. Uh, Fellow faculty and students, and of course to our guest speakers, for today's webinar. Okay, so I'm asked to give you a wrap up or a summary of what we have today's webinar session. So we have invited three speakers for today. So first is we have Professor Elena Ato, and her topic was on the role of the higher education institutions in the community development through extension services. So she gave us an overview of the different legal and historical background of extension, starting from the distant up to the pre-modern and up to the present actually. So we have learned that during the distant and the pre-modern era, this time nag-address tayo ng food supply. Okay, and another is the extension in the U.S. modern institutionalization of extension in education, wherein this time the university was now recognized as the primary source of knowledge for research-based programs. So like what Ma'am Ato mentioned, that in the conduct of an extension activity, services should be conform or parallel with the research outcome. Another would be the extension in USA is the success of the U.S. cooperative extension fueled interest in extension, as well as with the agricultural extension in the Philippines, which was conducted during the Spanish regime, which is the basic aim is to teach the farmers the rudiments of farming. And in the 1960s, 1970s, which is the agricultural extension in the Philippines. Okay, so dito na-develop yung NAPO, actually yung National Extension Project, and that was in 1979. Okay, and there was also significant changes in the 80s and 90s. So what I remember this, and hindi ko malimutan sinabi ni Ma'am, is in 1991, that was the devolution of the extension personnel through the local government code, which is the RA 7160. Okay, so she also show us or presented to us the extension framework. So dito, kung ano, ibabalikan natin yung discussion ni Ma'am is that when in the conduct of the extension service, it still should be conformed with the four folds, the function of the university, which are the research, extension, production, and instruction. Okay, so another rule of programs or the capability enhancement programs of non-degree and non-credit courses, I'm sorry, as well as with the technical assistance. Okay. So she also discussed to us that the importance of conducting a benchmarking in order for us to determine kung ano ba talaga yung problem. Because yun nga, we have first to determine the the gaps or identify the problems before we can give an appropriate intervention or extension services to our stakeholders. Okay, so that's for our first topic. So going to our second speaker was Dr. Lloyd A. Mata, and his topic was on building faculty and student extensionist leadership management and planning skills. Okay? So dito, ang may question na dun sa presentation, Sir Ato, that why is there a need to capacitate faculty and student and extension service? So, una daw is to conduct, no? Dapat may common ground tayo, which is to educate first yung mga future na extensionist natin with trainers of trainers, and then the student leaders also. Okay? And to capacity, sabi ni Sir, we have to start from the very basic of extension services. So, ano ba yung mga extension services natin that Dr. Ato mentioned? So we have the community outreach programs, services that play a vital role in transferring new knowledge and technologies to end users. Okay. He also presented to us the faculty and student we should be aware of the sustainability objectives. Okay, so madaming minention actually kanina, they have 10. Okay, so another is the community extension services. So Dr. Ato said that the extension program is an essential component of quality education, and it imparts skills and technological training to many of those who have limited access to formal education. So actually, an extension is designing activities that affect behavior change through constituent-driven programs focused on outcome-based objectives. So we should conform with our philosophy, vision, and mission in the conduct of process. Okay. Another is Dr. Ato also presented to us the framework. So extension, he said that is a public service work by the academic unit, faculty, staff, and students individually or as a group. So you need to say that in the conduct of research, in the extension services, it's a multidisciplinary approach. Okay, so hindi lang po isa ang nagpa-function, but we also involve internal links, not only internally, but also our external links. Okay, so you also presented to us the different processes, like the assessment, ayan, the planning, and then implementation, and then the evaluation. So Dr. Ato mentioned that we have to evaluate first before we can assess. Okay, and then in assessing, we have to assess also our internal, and then we assess also externally. Okay, and then when planning, we also involve the student leaders, okay, the other agencies or other organizations, and of course in the intervention phase and the monitoring. So in the monitoring, no, monitoring evaluation, tama ba ako if I remember, parang you also define ni Dr. Ato yung difference between where is my note? Ayun, the difference between a monitoring and an evaluation. Okay, and lastly, our last presenter or discussant for today's webinar is Mr. Berkeley and program and with the title ISCC Extension Model, Trust, and Guidelines, ISCC Extension extension model. So he presented to us the different models, okay, and the framework of the ISCC in terms of in the conduct of implementation of extension services. And he also integrated or discussed to us regarding the POCAR or the community organizing participatory action activity in the community, which is an important tool for community development and people empowerment because it will help the community workers to generate community participation in the development of the activities. So this co-par activity mentioned by Mr. Kian that this is actually in the preparation for the community people or clients to eventually take over the management of development programs in the future. So the main goal in the conduct of extension services is solely on the self-reliance or the development of self-reliance in the community. Okay, so that's the summary or the summary of today's webinar. So thank you very much. So may I now turn over the virtual floor to Ma'am Joanna.
Thank you very much, Sir Gertie. May I back in Ma'am Joanna? I hope our speakers are still with us together with our fellow faculty. To Dr. Lloyd Bata, Professor Ato, Ma'am and Sir, may I take this opportunity or chance to express uh, my sincerest appreciation for responding to our request. And I hope and I pray also, ma'am, that sooner or later we will be able to have this partnership and future collaborations for ISCC and of course to ISPSC and to UNT. We are very much willing, ma'am and sir, to forge future partnership, extension partnership, or research and extension partnership in the future. Kailangan po namin ng actually ng tulong ng mga state universities and colleges since we know that IACC is the only LUC in the province, and we need also the help of SUCs also to capacitate us as well. Thank you very much, ma'am, and sana po ay magkaroon po tayo ng future partnership and collaborations in the future, ma'am. Ma'am Joanna, please.
Thank you, Sir Kian and Sir Curly, for giving us the summary and clear overview of the presentations of our speaker. And thank you, Sir Kian, for spearheading this kind of developmental webinar as the ISCC Alliance. So we have come to the end of this program. And to formally conclude, may we first listen to the closing remarks of